In a triangle of ocean roughly bounded by Miami, Bermuda, and San Juan, ships and planes have been disappearing for centuries. The first recorded mention of strange occurrences in this region comes from Christopher Columbus's logs in 1492, where he reported a glow on the water and erratic compass readings. Since then, more than 1,000 ships and planes have been lost in the area. The mainstream public did not pay attention until February 1964, when a writer named Vincent Gaddis published an article in Argosy magazine called The Deadly Bermuda Triangle. The name caught on. Charles Berlitz's 1974 book The Bermuda Triangle sold 5 million copies and made the legend global. Television specials, paperback novels, and Hollywood films followed. By the early 2000s, the Bermuda Triangle was the most famous patch of ocean on the planet. According to the legend, ships and planes are vanishing in this region at impossible rates. Compasses spin uselessly. Aircraft drop out of the sky. Distress signals stop mid-sentence. Crews disappear from intact vessels. The supposed explanations involve everything from a sunken lost city of Atlantis emitting strange energy fields to alien abductions to time portals to magnetic anomalies. The United States Coast Guard, Lloyd's of London insurance markets, and most maritime safety analysts say the same thing. The Bermuda Triangle does not exist as a discrete dangerous zone. The disappearance rate is no higher than other heavily traveled ocean regions of comparable size. The legend is partly cherry-picked statistics, partly bad reporting, and partly something genuinely interesting that does not require any supernatural explanation. The most famous case is Flight 19. On December 5, 1945, 5 Grumman TBM Avenger torpedo bombers took off from Naval Air Station Fort Lauderdale on a routine 3-hour navigation training flight. They were carrying 14 men. They never returned. Their last radio transmissions described the flight leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, becoming disoriented and unable to locate land. Compass problems were reported. Taylor believed he was over the Florida Keys when in fact he was over the Bahamas. The flight ran out of fuel and was forced to ditch in heavy seas. The Navy launched the largest sea search in its history at that time. They found nothing. Then a search aircraft, a PBM Mariner flying boat with 13 men aboard, also vanished while looking for Flight 19. A passing tanker crew reported seeing a fireball in the air at the same time the Mariner went off radar. 27 men were lost in less than 12 hours. The official Navy investigation concluded that the flight had become disoriented, ran out of fuel, and ditched. The Mariner had a known issue with fuel vapor leaks and likely exploded. Charles Berlitz and other Bermuda Triangle authors heavily distorted the story. They omitted the fuel vapor explanation for the Mariner. They claimed compasses were spinning impossibly. They claimed the flight had vanished without distress calls, when in fact there were extensive radio transmissions. They claimed the weather was perfect when in fact it was deteriorating with high winds. The myth spread. The facts were buried. Other classic triangle disappearances follow the same pattern. The USS Cyclops, a Navy collier carrying 10,000 tons of manganese ore, vanished in March 1918. The Cyclops was overloaded, had a malfunctioning starboard engine, and was passing through a region with reported severe weather. It almost certainly broke apart and sank rapidly. No mystery required. The disappearance of the SS Marine Sulphur Queen in 1963 is similar. The ship was old, structurally compromised by sulfur cargo corrosion, and ran into a storm. Modern oceanography has identified several mundane factors that make the Bermuda Triangle region genuinely more dangerous than the typical Atlantic. First, the Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream is a powerful warm current that runs through the western edge of the triangle at speeds up to 5 knots. It carries away wreckage with extraordinary speed and dispersal. A boat that sinks in the Gulf Stream may have its debris field 100 miles away within 2 days. This makes recovery and identification of disasters very difficult, contributing to the impression that vessels disappear without trace. Second, the region experiences sudden tropical storms. The Bahamas and southern Florida are in a major hurricane corridor. Squalls can develop in minutes. Pilots and ship captains entering apparently calm conditions can find themselves in lethal weather a half-hour later. Third, the area has unusual variations in magnetic compass behavior. Most of the Earth has small angles between true north and magnetic north, but the Bermuda Triangle